Once upon a time, in a quiet town, there lived two families. The first was the Williams family, wealthy beyond imagination. Mr. and Mrs. Williams owned a thriving business empire. Their children, Rita and Evans, had everything they could ever want: the finest clothes, the most expensive toys, and the best education money could buy. But Mr. and Mrs. Williams didn't stop there. They showered their children with praise, no matter how badly they behaved. If Rita failed a test, they blamed the teacher. If Evans got into trouble at school, they would talk to the principal, insisting their son could do no wrong. The second family was the Browns. They lived in a modest home, and life was a constant struggle. Mr. and Mrs. Brown worked long hours to make ends meet, but they always found a way to ensure their children, Tina and Noah, had what they needed. While the Browns didn't have luxury or extravagance, they taught their children the importance of hard work, honesty, and good manners. When Tina and Noah made mistakes, their parents didn't sugarcoat things. They would sit them down and explain why their actions were wrong, always encouraging them to do better. As the years passed, the differences between the children of these two families became clear. Rita and Evans, who had always been pampered and shielded from the consequences of their actions, grew up to be arrogant, selfish, and irresponsible. They never learned how to work for anything because everything was handed to them on a silver platter. They treated people poorly, believing that their wealth and status made them superior. They lacked empathy and respect for others, often mocking people from less privileged backgrounds. On the other hand, Tina and Noah, despite their lack of material wealth, grew up to be hardworking, humble, and responsible. They learned the value of effort and integrity. They understood that mistakes were part of life, but they also knew that learning from those mistakes was what truly mattered. They treated others with kindness and respect, and people admired them for their integrity and strong character. One day, both families were invited to a charity gala. The Williams arrived, flaunting their wealth, while the Browns entered quietly, appreciating the cause and the opportunity to contribute. During the event, Rita and Evans arrogantly mocked a poor family at the table next to them, making cruel jokes about their clothes and lifestyle. Mr. and Mrs. Williams just laughed, ignoring their children's behavior. But when Tina and Noah overheard, they stood up and spoke out, teaching Rita and Evans a lesson in compassion and humility. "You don't have to be rich to be kind," Tina said firmly. "It's the way you treat others that shows your true worth, not the price tag on your clothes." Evans scoffed. "What do you know about wealth or anything? You're just poor." Noah stepped forward. "And you know nothing about respect. Wealth doesn't make you better than anyone." The Williams parents, still oblivious to their children's faults, said nothing. But the Browns had instilled in their children the understanding that kindness and respect were more valuable than anything money could buy. As the years went on, Rita and Evans's lives were filled with failures and discontent. Their businesses failed, relationships crumbled, and they found themselves surrounded by people who only wanted to use them for their wealth. Rita, influenced by a group of friends who lived a reckless lifestyle, became involved in prostitution, exchanging her body for money. She also began smoking and drinking excessively. Meanwhile, Evans turned to hard drugs. One day, after spending time with his parents, he left for a nightclub. After leaving the club that night, he was stopped at a police checkpoint. When officers searched his car, they found cocaine, and he was immediately arrested. Meanwhile, Tina and Noah thrived. They built successful careers, earned the trust of their peers, and lived fulfilling, meaningful lives. They had learned the invaluable lesson that money could never replace values like integrity, responsibility, and respect for others. The Williams, upon hearing the news of their son's arrest, were deeply disappointed. They realized too late that giving their children everything they wanted without teaching them right from wrong had led them down a path of misery. They understood that true love as parents meant guiding their children, even when it was hard, and teaching them the importance of responsibility and respect. It wasn't luxury that would have made their children strong, but the lessons they failed to teach. Moral of the story. As parents, it's crucial to understand that material wealth should never replace the role of discipline, love, and moral guidance in raising children. Giving children everything they want might seem like love, but true love comes in teaching them right from wrong, helping them build strong character, and preparing them for a world where success isn't just about wealth, but about integrity, hard work, and respect for others.